Hi there, this is Andrew Baronsky, and this video is going to be a demo session of how to set up your semester and your classes in OTF Planboard. To get started here, I'm just going to click Login to get in. And by default, it's going to take me to my planning calendar, which is empty right now because I haven't created anything. If this is your first time logging into Planboard after creating your account, you'll probably be taken through the setup for creating your semester and classes there. If you've logged in before but haven't set it up, you don't want to go back and set it up, you can come up here and click on the little gear for settings. It's going to take you to this screen. Now, it defaulted one in from here. I'm just going to delete this out. And then from here, I got the option to create a semester. And I'm going to create a new one. I'll come back in another video. I'll talk about how you can reuse a semester and bring things from a previous semester you've built into a new one. But for now, I'm going to click on Create a New Semester. So from here, I get the options. I can name it. It's going to go Semester 1 here. Depending on what level you're teaching at and what school you're at, this will be different for different people. You may be teaching all year long if you're non-semestered. If you're in secondary, you may be a semester school. Primary, you'll also be different than that. So you can personalize whatever you want here. So I'm going to name this Semester 1 for myself. And to start off, I'm going to just go back to start school year, put in September the 2nd, and I'll have this semester finishing off in the at the end of January. Okay, so I've got my dates there. And I got this option to teach one group of students or I teach more than one group of students. Again, this will depend on what level and what school you're at and how it's set up. A number of primary teachers will probably be choosing one group of students where they're going to have multiple classes to teach them. A secondary teacher more likely to have more than one group of students, and you can set up for multiple sections and things like that. For now, I'm going to show you what it looks like to have one group of students. And click on Create. Okay. Now that semester's been built, I can see the times have changed here, and I've got my Semester 1. To edit it now and go do the personalization, like adding classes and building my schedule, I just need to click on the semester itself. All right, from the screen here, I can see I'm in Semester 1. I've got my dates, and it's asking me to add a subject. So if I click, I get my first subject to add here. If I click in, now I get it for times personalization here. I can give this my subject a name. I can color code it here, and I've got more options for choose for different colors, and I can add standards. I highly recommend you do this. Once you click the box, a little search bar opens here. Now, Planboard offers curriculum for all across the world. It's got all of Canada, most of the or all of the US covered, I believe. So when you're searching through this, my recommendation for OTF Planboard is that you're starting off with Ontario. And for this, I'm just going to do a primary example. I'm going to create Ontario Grade 2. So I can see the options here. I'll see it says by Planboard official. This means it's the official Ontario curriculum that's been implemented by Planboard into their accounts here. You might see some other ones that does not say that. It does give the teachers to build their own curriculum and build that in here, and it can be shared with others. So you just want to keep an eye out here. It says by Planboard official, and I'm going to start off here with math, for example. Okay, so I'm going to up here and put my title in. I got math. I'll leave this one as blue, and I can click save. To continue on, I'm going to add another subject though. So I'm going to go here, click in. I'm going to choose a different color here. Let's go with purple. Click in here again. I'm going to go Ontario Grade 2 again. And let's throw arts in. Okay, let's go different color here. I'm going to change this to arts and click save. And add a third subject. Click in. Go for another color here. Let's try green. Try standards. Ontario Grade 2. And let's throw in language. Okay, got that. Name it, language, and click save there. I could keep going, but I'm going to stop from there to kind of get to show you how to build your schedule. But you can come back here anytime and add more subjects or delete them out if you choose. Okay, from now I'm going to go up here now and slide on to and click on schedule. Now when I click on schedule, this gives me a chance to build my schedule within Planboard. I can see that I'm in Semester 1 here, and I've got my dates for the semester set up. Okay. First thing I want to look at is your rotation schedule. Now, every school is different all across the world, and there's some very funky setups out there and some very simple ones. Through Planboard, you get a lot of chances for personalization. So if I click the drop down, I can see I can do a weekly rotation, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I can do a daily rotation, all the way up to a 12-day rotation. If you are at something that still doesn't fit for your work for you, you can try and play this around with yourself and figure out what works best for you. I'm going to go here and say I'm going to be on a 2-day rotation. And also I want to point out the options option here. If I click on options, I got a few really nice personalized features for this. One thing here is you got your off days. So I've got this schedule built, but right now it has me teaching, as you can see here, Monday through Friday for each week. If you're in a special situation where you're teaching on weekends or not teaching Monday through Friday as the norm, you can select or deselect these options for here. I'm going to leave that as is because Monday to Friday is pretty much the norm. But I can get an option here. I can click on Add Holidays. When I do this, I can select my country and go down to Canada here and click Add. And what this does is it automatically puts in off days in my schedule where I'm not going to have a lesson built in for these days. And we blocked off so I can't actually edit that day and put a lesson plan in for these ones here. Now you'll note it only does the major holidays. It's not going to block off, again, for example, say the holidays over the winter break is 2 weeks long for many teachers in Ontario. It's not going to block that off for you because every school board has their own schedule. What I can do though is here is click on the little add button. So just to add holidays with the first one, I can add my own. I can go here and say, for example, winter holidays, and just choose a start date and end date. So I'm going to go up to December here, and say it starts on the 22nd for my board, and the end date is going to be January 5th this year. I can click Add. What that does now, it goes in and blocks off that entire block of time for me, so I don't have to build lesson plans for that. I also recommend using this feature for your scheduled PD days or any other days that are off for your school. Okay, so once we've got that built in, I can slide back down to my schedule here. Sorry, I'm going to actually go out and close off the options box. So I've got my 2-day rotation, I've got the date set up and the time here, and I can see the 3 sections I've got built in. Again, anytime I want to go back and add subjects, I can. So if I want to drag my math in, say on day 1, I'm going to start off with math at 8 a.m. I can drag and drop it in and just release it there. Now it defaults to a half an hour, but I've got this little toggle down here. You can see the arrow that pops off. I click and drag, and say it's going to run for an hour long, I can drag it down to 9 there. So I'm going to have math from 8 to 9 in day 1, and say it's a little flip for day 2. I'm going to drag and drag it over here, and again personalize the time again. Say I'm going to run for 45 minutes for some reason on day 2 for math there. If I want to bring arts over, I can drag that and drop it in here. And so on day 1, we're going to follow math up with, say, half an hour of art. I can leave it right there. You can also leave breaks in here, obviously. So say I have language, but it's going to follow a 15-minute recess. I can drag language in here, adjust it to 9:45 to leave that 15-minute recess in there, and drag language to however long I want it to be. So it's going to run 45 minutes. I can drop that in there. Okay, for language, say I want to start off with language on day 2, drag and drop it in very simply, set the time, and I'm good to go. I can do that for whatever time frame you like throughout the day and build your schedule, and it will follow this daily rotation. So when I go and import this into Planboard and just kind of click save here, if I go to my schedule, it'll just kind of rotate between day 1 and day 2s and follow the setup I've given it here. I'm just going to throw arts again in here very quickly. And so we're going to have a long section of arts on the next day on day 2s. You can leave that in there. You can just leave blank spots like I have here for recess, or for your lunch hour, you can leave blank spots or prep periods. If you want to edit those periods information, so for example, you want to leave yourself some notes during your prep period or lunch hour, say for supervision, I recommend you actually create a section that says lunch or prep, and that will allow you to edit that section, leave yourself notes within Planboard. Okay, from here I'm going to click save. You can see it was successfully saved down here. If I go back and click on my planner, I can see it's built in. It's going to take me to today's current date, and now I've got this view for my schedule for that day. Color coded, following my rotation. You can see here I'm on day A, day B, day A, day B, day A, following that rotation throughout. I can click through there. All right, that's the basics for setting up your schedule, and I'll leave you with that for now.